All right, what's good? What's good? This is the Chicago Sports Talk. Michael back at it for another video talking, of course, the Chicago Bears. Preseason, the last game is upon us. Tomorrow, the Chicago Bears play the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's get right into it. As if majority of people already know two things. One, I will be live for the game. That's the good news, right? Bad news for most people, but the good news for the Bears fans, I will be live tomorrow. But the bad news is we're not going to be seeing Caleb and majority of the starters. It was later announced this week. Matt Eberflus says that Caleb Williams and majority of the starters will not participate in the final game of the preseason. Bummer. Well, bummer for me because I wish Caleb adjusts to the NFL speed, but later you understand he already did enough to prove that he's worth he did get enough time. So basically, yeah, he did get enough time. So I understand why. So we're going to be having backups versus and even the Chiefs are not playing their starters, but there's going to be backups versus backups. Like I said, Tyson Bagent will be starting against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs backup will start. I think it's Chad Hundley. I think I don't know. Oh, it's probably going to be Carson Wentz. I think, but I don't know who the. Someone remind me who the Chiefs backup is. I think it's Carson Wentz, but so let's get right into it. I don't want to bore you about how the Bears will win this game because we don't really care about this game. It's just like backups versus backups, like who we expect to be on the roster, who do we not expect to be on the roster, and who's on the chopping block. And who's on the chopping block? Velus Jones Jr. And Velus Jones Jr. has not shown any lack of success. So this is kind of his last chance to prove that he belongs on this roster. So he's on the chopping block. So, like I said, if Velus Jones Jr. does not perform, I could see him getting cut or traded. Preferably, I think they would probably cut him. But I guess we'll see. But Velus Jones really has to pick it up because he's been looking terrible as a running back. Granted, he did look good against the Bills, but in the Bengals game, he really did not look that good. Who else could be on the chopping block? And I hate to say it, Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert did decent last game against the Bengals. But his questionability, being the number one running back, has been in question because Khalil Herbert just doesn't have that factor anymore that he had at the last half of the year. Like, he just really hasn't been showing that he's a top-tier running back. Like, I don't think that even if he does make the roster, he's not going to get re-signed. Okay, he's on the last year of his contract. Who else could be a potential cut candidate? And I hate to say this because I know the Bajan fan club is going to be licking their chops at this, but Brett Ripon could also be on the chopping block because Brett Ripon, granted, he really hasn't showcased any ability. And Bajan had a good, I'll say he did look good the last preseason game. So, and he's making his significant case looking like he will be the quarterback too. Also, Austin Reed is also looking good, but I think he's more of a camp body. Ian Wheeler is someone to look out for. Granted, he didn't do much against the Bengals, but he does showcase some abilities, and he could take. And honestly, I wouldn't mind to see what Ian Wheeler could do with majority of the reps because I don't believe in Khalil Herbert at all to be a starting running back at all if DeAndre Swift were to go down. Also, we haven't seen much of Colin Johnson lately. Who else will we probably will see in the game? We'll probably see Nate Davis, probably, because they said majority of the starters, so that means partially starters will be playing. Terrell Smith, Brady Stewart will also make a appearance. Elijah Hicks. Who else? Oh, my guy Austin Booker, who's making havoc. Maybe the Bears play him a lot, but like I said, I'm not going to bore you too much about this. Like, this is the final preseason game. We're discussing which people that we expect to make the roster, but who we think is going to probably be efficient, and I think it's going to show who will be the backup quarterback and who will make a starting roster. So Tyler Scott, yeah, he should probably be expected to make the roster. So, and DeAndre Carter has been pretty quiet lately. Also, this guy can also be on the chopping block, but we'll see. And that is but I'm ready to like see him. So, and Josh Blackwell has been very impressive this far for the past 2 preseason games. He calls an interception and he looks pretty good against the Bills. So, looking at it from a Joshua Blackwell could probably make this roster. So, who do I have winning this game? I'm probably gonna have to give this slightly to the Chiefs, but I will not be surprised if the Bears win this because the Bears defense has completely been dominant as of this point because they blew out 2 opposing opponents. 2 of them are, granted, the Bengals have their backups playing, but 2 of them are premier playoff contending teams. You got the Buffalo Bills and you got the Cincinnati Bengals. So you blew out 2 potentially playoff contending teams. So, but I have the Chiefs winning this one at a score of 23 to 14. I don't think the Bears backups will overcome the Chiefs backups. Like I said, they have a more experienced quarterback with a better play caller, Andy Reid. But like I said, we don't care. It's preseason. So, anyways, that's my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section down below which players you're excited to see tomorrow. Once again, I will be live tomorrow for the Bears versus the Kansas City Chiefs. As always, thanks for watching and bear down.